Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Rangers Review Old Firm preview show ahead of the first Old Firm derby of the season at Ibrox. Rangers taking on Celtic. Of course, the teams have not long dropped. We're going to discuss that. But Chris Jack joins us live from the Ibrox press room. How goes it, Chris?
All fine. Interesting day ahead. I don't think there's not much more to say to it than that. But time will tell how this one unfolds. But plenty to get into, plenty to speak about, regardless of what happens. And deadline day is tomorrow, so that's something we can all rejoice at.
That's what we're rejoicing at the end of this game. But I think it's going to be a bumpy road. I hope I am proven wrong. But let's get through the team. Rangers lining up like this. Butland in goal. The back four of Tavernier, Giga, Suter and Magoma. A midfield trio of Connor Barron, Mohamed Diamande and Tello Asgard. And a front three of Jedi Gassama, or Gassam, as I think is how he wants to be called. So there you go. I'm calling him Gassama, whether he likes it or not. Mikey Moore and new signing Bojan Miovski coming in after penning a deal from Girona, and he's thrust in from the start. On the bench for Rangers, Kelly, Aarons, Rothwell, Dessers, Bayrami, Antman, Fernandez, Curtis and Danilo. So much to unpack about people who are starting, people who are not even in the squad, Chris. What do you make of today's team?
I don't think there's many surprises there, to be honest. James Tavernier had to come in at right back. Max Aarons nowhere near good enough. His confidence looked shot even before he was sent off on Wednesday night. So I don't think that's a surprise at all. Connor Barron, an unexpected one perhaps in the middle of the pitch. As we reported, as we've spoken about over the last 24 hours or so, it's no surprise at all that Nico Raskin is not involved. That was always going to be the case. Ahead of them, Miovski had to come in. He had to start. There's doubts over Cyril Desser's long-term future at this club beyond the transfer window. Danilo has not been at it. Starved of service in a lot of matches, it has to be said. But I think it makes a lot of sense to bring Miovski in, and hopefully he can go off to a really impressive start here this afternoon.
Yeah, got to say I'm quite happy with Miovski signing. He's a player that I've always admired. Certainly when he was at Aberdeen, thought Rangers should have went and got him then. But of course, you would have had the Rangers tax. He's went to Girona. It's not quite worked out for him there. But yeah, thrown in and leading the line, I think he'll do a turn for Rangers. Let's hope he's given opportunities to score this afternoon, because it has been a glaring issue for Rangers this season. Whoever has led the line, they simply haven't had the service from the attacking players. And for me, that's down to the coach and what he's asking the players to do, because there's enough talent on that pitch, Chris, to carve open opportunities today.
It's a team that's not carved open enough opportunities over the course of the season, is it? Middle to front. No. I know there's huge concerns over this side defensively, and they will be seen again over the next 90 minutes. However, I thought middle to front, it's not been good enough. We've not seen Rangers create the level of chances. Certainly not seen them score the level of goals that are required. That has to change, and there's no better place for that improvement to be found in this afternoon.
Yes, let's talk about a notable absentee then. You'll have seen over the course of the last few days about Nico Raskin, not in the matchday squad. Looks like he's edging closer to the Ibrox departure door, Chris. I've got to say, my feelings on Nico Raskin. For me, he's Rangers' best player, and the midfield is substantially weaker when he is not in there. That is a concern of mine, that midfield I'm looking at on my screen right now, whether that is strong enough to get a result today.
I think it's no surprise that Nico is not involved today. We've spoken about that, and we've written about that over the last day or so. I think if Nico had left Rangers right at the start of the summer, I think people would have been disappointed, and they would have been sad to see a good player leave the club. But I think it's the way that it's going to unfolded and how he's been in and out. The manager has had a week, not a pop at him, but he's referenced things that he has to improve on. He's talked him up and spoken really highly. He's then been in the team, he's been out of the team, and now he's not even near the squad. Come the end of the transfer window, I don't think he'll be a Rangers player. If that had happened right at the start of the window, Rangers had got a good transfer fee in for him. I don't think people would have been as upset as they are. It's how it's been handled and how it's getting materialised that has really upped people. Big call from Russell Martin not to play Joe Rothwell today. That would have seen the like obvious replacement for him, but it's Conor Barron that it comes in alongside Diomande and Asgard. Like you, I have my doubts whether that's a midfield three that's good enough to win an Old Firm game or not, but we're about to find out.
Yeah, it's a concern. You mentioned that the deadline day tomorrow, Rangers need to bring in, if Nico's to go, a midfielder for me. I don't think there's any denying that the midfield looks weak. That's for sure. Moving on, Lyle Cameron not in the matchday squad, Chris. Is there any murmurings as to why that is the case?
No, it obviously wasn't mentioned in dispatches at the press conference yesterday in terms of injuries, so not sure. I think he seemed to pick up a kick in the second half on Wednesday night, so it's maybe just a hangover from that. But I've not seen anybody so far that can say why he's not in the squad. I think that's a blow. If he had been available, I would have had him in ahead of Conor Barron. I think overall, Lyle Cameron has had a decent start to his Rangers career and provides a real bit of energy in these games and provides more going forward than Conor Barron does as well. But no update on his whereabouts. But like as you just mentioned, talking about Nico Raskin there, if Raskin is to leave tomorrow, and we believe that he will do, Rangers have to go and find a replacement, and not just a squad option replacement, not just someone that gives you another body in there. It has to be someone that can do a job that Nico Raskin does, ideally even better if possible.
Yes, the Celtic team today, folks, incidentally, is Michael, Ralston, Carter Vickers, Scales, Tierney, McGregor, Hatate, Engels, Balikwisha, their new signing that they've brought in, Nigrin and Maeda. So that is how Celtic will shape up today. Chris, it's a must-win game for Rangers. They cannot afford to go 9 points behind Celtic at such an early stage of this season. Given the debacle that unfolded in midweek, which you watched with your own eyes unfold, unfortunately, I just don't see this Rangers team getting a victory today. And where can they win this match, do you think?
You always say the first goal is important. Certainly in an Old Firm game, I think today the first goal is absolutely huge. If Rangers were to get it, it gives them something to at least hold on to in the game, maybe gets the Ibrox crowd on their side. If Celtic score first, and if they score early, then I think we know what the reaction round about this place is going to be. If people are not in a good frame of mind after not just events on Wednesday night, that's obviously been like a tipping point for some people, and that's the highest that the noise level has been. But overall this season, Rangers have not been good enough. They're certainly not been good enough at Ibrox. So it's not going to take much to tip the crowd against this side this afternoon, and they really need to get off to a good start. As you said there, it is a must win for Russell Martin. Anything but that, if any further ground was to be lost in the title race, it's going to make it really, really difficult for Rangers. So it's a really interesting and certainly a high stakes afternoon coming up.
Yeah, and of course, all the bigwigs have come over. Noticed Parag Marathi heading into the main stands. All the High-Hegians have popped over for this game, Chris. What is the atmosphere been like walking up to Ibrox? I noticed there's a number of flags, sort of protest flags at how the club has been run by those in charge of the football side of things. What's the general feeling out there at the moment?
Didn't really see that many people. I've been here for over an hour or so now. It's still fairly early. There's also a lot of people still can mill around, but it's a lot of. I think there's a lot of skepticism amongst the Rangers fans right now. They don't believe that Russell Martin is the right man to take this team and take this club forward. That makes this afternoon, as I've just touched on there, it makes it hugely significant for him. The fans, as we know, can play a part in occasions such as this, but the team have to give them something, to buy into, give them something to get behind. So that's why the opening stages and the approach from Rangers will be so important.
It's huge. I mean, look at the Celtic side of things as well, Chris. Their fans are not happy with how their team are currently performing and the money that is, not being spent on strengthening their squad. So it's one of those ones, a proper 6-pointer. If Rangers get a result today, pressure very much intensifies on the team on the other side of the city. So there's no sugarcoating this. This is absolutely massive.
And that's what, again, from a Rangers perspective, most importantly, that's what, again, makes the situation that they're in all the more frustrating, because they just don't have the ability to turn the screw a wee bit, or to ask a question, or to put any doubt in Celtic's mind. Tuesday night, given their result and how they went out of the Champions League, nobody expected Rangers to go through against Bruges, but there was a way of performing in that tie that would have given them the narrative and given them the upper hand in this, heading into this one this afternoon. That's all been flipped now, Wednesday, and then the events of the following days, transfer-wise, and also Nico Raskin and all the rest of it, that's flipped it once again. And it's Rangers that are on the back foot, and they're feeling that kind of negative vibe heading into this one. So now they have to find a way of making Celtic think, of asking different questions, or putting a wee bit of pressure on. A win today would do that if it gets it back down to, cut the gap a wee bit. If Rangers were to lose, then it's arguably all bets are off, even at this early stage of the season.
Score prediction, Chris, how's it ending up today?
I knew you were going to ask me for predictions, Derek. You always save the best ones till last. Let's go for one each.
You stole my scoreline. I was going to say that as well. Listen, the heart says one. There's Stevie. How's it going, Stevie? How are we feeling?
Good, mate. You well?
Yeah. All good, thank you. But it's a calm before the storm, as the old saying goes. But
a Rangers victory today, Derek. They're going to turn up like they've not just met this morning in the car park.
I would love you to be right on that one. They need a win.
Me and Chris are happy. We're positive. Feeling good.
Let's hope you're happy in a couple of hours' time. Fingers crossed. Top man. This is not a good, a Celtic team that Rangers should be scared of. However, we've seen what Rangers have been producing under Russell Martin, and I've got to be honest, it gives me the fear, given what we witnessed and have witnessed, not just in midweek, but games gone by. I have my doubts whether this team is capable of getting a result, but it is huge. I just hope that they can turn up on the day and get a much-needed 3 points. Big thank you to James, who's kindly donated to the channel. I'll read his point out. It says, Raskin leaving because of Russell Martin. He's to blame. He's the reason we're losing our best player. So we had this coach so many players want away. That is his view on that one. But no Nico Raskin in the squad today, folks. So that Rangers team in full once again. Butland in goal. The back four of Tavernier, Giga, Suter and Magoma. A midfield trio of Baron, Diamande and Asgard, with Gassama, Moore and Miovski making his Rangers debut, leading the line. Let's hope that we're all celebrating a Rangers victory and a performance to boot as well, something that we've not had much to cheer about this season. But Rangers in action in just under an hour's time. We'll be back on the whistle to give our reactions to what unfolded at Ibrox this afternoon. But I hope your team wins, folks. And we'll speak to you a little later on. Bye for now.